Hi everyone, I'm Russ Fritz. I'm a senior systems designer here at Business Wired Technology and Hospitality and Entertainment. Today I'm going to go over the Directv HD upgrade and swap out required before 2019. And I'm also going to be talking to you about wiring your location to broadcast that HD signal from your new Directv system, either in analog or high def. Our motto here is say no to bad TV reception. Of course, that's everyone at your house, and it should be the same for your patients. They shouldn't be dealing with bad TV reception. A snowy and grainy and distorted TV signal is a substandard level of service when the solution to fix the issues with the reception are easily solved. That's, again, a given. There should be no reason for you to have a bad signal in the year 2018. It could be easily solved. Struggling to watch TV should not be part of the healing process, but yet many locations have snowy, grainy pictures. Every year, one of the top requests from patients is for a good selection of TV channels. The added bonus is if they can view in HD and also have movie channels. Having a crisp TV picture is a major part of a patient's environment satisfaction. When you think of a patient's room, there's the bed, there's the window to look out, there's the area for the relatives to sit, and there's a TV. Only 4 parts of the room, so the TV is a major part of the room, and it's also something that's looked at and watched the most. Offering HD TV with movie channels is a marketing tool. Healthcare locations underutilized. You need to utilize that as a marketing tool because if you offer movie channels in high def, that's a great thing for your patients. How many minutes, if not seconds, do you call your TV provider when your signal at home is not working correctly? I know how fast I call. I mean seconds, and I'm on the phone, usually for 3 hours. But when your signal at home doesn't work, you know what you do. So, of course, signals change. But you let your patients view distorted, snowy pictures. Is that right, or are you abusing patients' well-being? Let's talk about that well-being statement. TV pictures that are snowy and distorted cause stress and fatigue for your patients. That is a medical fact. So again, why do you do harm to your patients when fixing issues is easy and the correct thing to do? Why would I make that statement? Because first of all, a snowy and grainy picture is causing a problem for your patients. They're not watching it 1 hour, 2 hours a day. They're looking at that TV 12, 14, 16 hours a day. Look at these 2 TVs. This looks great. It's a high-def signal. If it was a little distorted, we could probably live with that distortion a little bit. But here's a common 22-inch TV, and a lot of hospitals have 22-inch, 26-inch. If that was distorted, look at now, it's kind of hard to look at. Do you imagine if it was distorted, how much stress that would put in fatigue to be able to watch that TV? How many times do doctors and nurses misdiagnose headaches or fatigue while at the hospital when its real source of viewing could be the TV? Sure it happens. I'm sure it happens many times. TV signals can be sent via coax or network cable. Coax is the preferred method in most cases. Network distribution is more labor and structure costly to install and maintain without any added benefit. It's also a nightmare for most locations. Every place I know that has done network wiring has regretted doing it and probably would never go that route again. It's costly. There's a lot of overrun to it. It's very time involved. The other thing is the system must have their own server, router, and switches. It can't be part of your network system. You can't VLAN it. No matter what they tell you it takes bandwidth-wise, it's not correct. It takes a lot of bandwidth. And the TVs themselves, these patient TVs, are very finicky. They want to be on a network. They don't want to see anything else. Even if you VLAN it, somehow they don't like it. So it needs to be its own server, router, and switches. If you do that, you won't have a problem. But again, TVs are finicky even to get working in the HD mode. And that's just a common thing. And then you get into the labor involved of someone standing there trying to get the TV to work. TV distributions must have an MDF and on each floor of each building an IDF, which then feeds out to each department or zone. Right now, there's wires going everywhere. Everybody jumps off of signal, off a room, off the department to department. You need to have an MDF, which is the head-in. That's the main section. That's where all the equipment sits. From that main location, 1 wire should feed each floor of each building. Okay? And the idea behind that is that on each floor, you have an IDF. And that IDF then splits out to all the different departments and zones. That is the correct way of wiring a system. Almost all locations are wired by jumping from room to room and department to department. Endless string of signals being passed along. And of course, that's not good. And daisy chaining the signals is the number one reason for bad signals in most buildings. Once a problem happens, it flows downstream. And we all know this term, being facilities or just people of choice, bad in and bad out. Bad in, bad out. Just like a network system, all cabling should be wired to the distribution closet and connected correctly. I'm going to show you an example of this. The easiest way is just to show you. This is a typical closet in one of the hospital locations we just did here in Chicago. If you have this in the closet, if this is how your TV system is, it has one amplifier with the signal coming in, a wire with the signal coming in, one amplifier, and then feeding out to the TVs, that is wired in correctly. That is a very hard system to maintain and a very hard system to keep working. We turn around and we bring everything to the closet. We're going to bring everything to the closet and we're going to connect. There's our amplifier, and here's all our connections to the TVs. So now when we need to amplify, when we need to increase, decrease signal, we can do it all from here. We never have to go into the patient room or into the ceiling to do it. It's all done from this one location. So now you see the old location with the two wires, and now you're going to see the new location that we put in here. And of course, that's going to get rid of the old stuff. Now you can tell this would be a much easier system to maintain and work on than the old way, where all the cables are in the ceiling. And again, you don't know where any of those cables are in the ceiling. Are they in the front of the room? Are they in the center of the room outside? Or are they in the left? You don't know where these cables go to in the ceiling. This makes it very easy to do. If you are a do-it-yourself hospital or you want to install your own equipment in your hospital, we do offer pre-built boards that we do for this. So if you want a distribution panel made for you, we can make that for you and give you the right design. All you got to do is tell us the TVs, send us a blueprint of the floor, and we could have this done for you. Very nice option for you to have. Here is a typical larger system. This is actually running, I think, 42 rooms. You see this has a little larger amplifier. This has a blunter tongue big amplifier on it, more push and pull on it. Where with this other amplifier that I showed you, this one here, this is made for just a department, a smaller department, where this amplifier is made for a larger department. Wiring in your hospital needs to be done by an experienced RF signal contractor. A cabling or AV company does not always succeed at achieving a clear picture. RF technology is the only technology that has to be balanced signal-wise. When you run network cable, the network cable goes from point A to point B, and as it terminated correctly, it works. Same with HDMI. HDMI goes from point A to point B, VGA from point A to point B. As long as it's wired correctly, it works. As far as RF technology, it's signal levels that make it work. The wiring could be absolutely perfect. It doesn't mean that the signal is going to work correctly. And so many locations we go into following behind companies that they had put the wiring in, and at the end the wiring didn't work correctly. Even though it was installed correctly, they just don't know how to balance the system. And you have to have the knowledge and experience to be able to do that. So using an AV company or a structured cabling company is not going to guarantee that you're going to get a balanced signal. You need a company that has RF signal technology experience and also has hundreds and hundreds of TVs working at hospitals with a clean picture to be able to contact and be able to verify. What to look for in a TV contractor. The main thing is, can you work any shift and any day to meet patient or census levels? If you are stuck with a union company for some reason, then this is going to be a very hard thing to be able to accomplish, because they really only like to work Monday through Friday during the day, and sometimes that always doesn't work out. Sometimes you need to do locations on second shift and third shift, and if you use a union company, this gets awfully expensive. They also have to be able to balance a headend system from Directv, cable, or over-the-air antenna systems. If they don't know how to do this, and if they don't have experience doing it, then you don't want to use them, because they won't be able to balance the rest of the system out if they can't do that. Your TV system must have an over-the-air outside antenna so you can have all local channels deliver uninterrupted to your patients during snowstorms and heavy rainstorms. You always have a TV signal broadcasting. The worst thing you could possibly have is during a snowstorm or a rainstorm, and the storms are getting worse nowadays, especially during the rainstorms are getting incredibly forceful around the area, is you want your patients sitting in their bed doing nothing but watching the wall because the TV signal is bouncing saying no signal. Absolutely horrid thing to have done. The worst thing for your patients to experience during a scary rain or snowstorm, which we just went over, is to be left with no TV signal, just sitting and laying in their bed with nothing to take their minds off their illness. Large thunder, lightning, blurred out windows just adds to the already scary environment. Let's face it, being in a hospital is not the greatest environment. Most of the time you're like, oh God, what's going to happen? All the time. It's a scary environment. Many contractors sway away from inserting an outdoor antenna into a large-scale TV system. Most can't or don't know how to get a clean antenna signal to work alongside a cable or satellite channels. Very hard thing to do. You have to be experienced with it. I have 40 years experience designing and putting those systems up. And that's why we always succeed. A lot of companies won't do it because they can't get the signal to be stabilized, or they can't get all the signals to come in. They'll get some of them to come in and like channel 2 won't come in, channel 5 won't come in. Well, then the system's useless and you paid a lot of money for nothing. Others make money selling you to local channels via the TV channel providers such as Directv. They lose kickbacks when you use an outdoor antenna, so a lot of times it's more of a natural reason for them to want to sell you the antenna signal over the air, or via the providers such as Directv. A local antenna also offers a source of communicating with the government and authorities during a major emergency when satellite cable or power is disrupted. Use of an outdoor antenna is recommended by the Department of Defense. Again, 2-5-7-9-11, 26, 32, 44, 50. Those are our local channels here in Chicago. Those would never go down. Those would always be operational, which again, during these crazy kind of times, it's not a bad option to always have some kind of TV signal to always know what's going on. If you were to rely on, because let's face it, even cell phones could go down and all that could end up, internet could go down. You'd still be communicating via the TV system and know what's going on. Directv swap out and HD upgrade. Let's talk about that. So Directv is losing orbit. The satellite that's doing analog right now is losing orbit in 2019. I believe in like June or July, it's actually going to fall out of the sky and fall down to Earth. So no longer will those receivers be working. They're going to go dark as of mid-2019. But they're trying to get you to switch everything over before 2019. There are two options available to switch from analog system to HD-able receivers. Option number 1 is a non-HD output. This is if you're never going to go HD, if you're going to stay with an analog system. Directv will switch out the old analog receivers for new H24 or H25 HD receivers, replace dish, L&B, multi-switches, and other equipment needed to upgrade, most with no cost to the customer for the equipment and the labor. Now let's talk about the labor. Labor is if your vendor is going to accept the money from Directv. Some vendors want more money than what Directv offers. So they may charge you more money. They shouldn't, because Directv offers them a good amount of money to be able to switch it out, but some may want more. The next option is 2, that's going full HD. Your location is given a current incentive, which is up to $7,500 towards equipment for your location over 100 rooms. That used to be a better incentive. They just changed it. They used to be giving $75 per room. So if you had like a 250-room hospital, your Directv with equipment was basically paid for it. Well, now that's not the case. Now they're only offering $7,500, but that's up to $7,500. A lot of dealers are keeping some of that money and offer only $4,000 or $5,000, and they're keeping the $2,500 or so. So they don't have to give you the full $75. They need to give you whatever they feel like giving you, and you don't have a choice. The average cost of a 48-channel HD Directv system is around $22,000. Most locations need more than 48 channels, so this number will rise considerably. A lot of locations have 65, 70 Directv receivers, many locations. Also, you have to take into account your 10 or 12 local channels, which are 2, 5, 7, and 9. So if you take this 48 channel and you minus 12 channels right off the bat for local channels, you're only talking 30-something satellite channels. Now you really don't have a lot of selection of a lot of movie or TV selections. So you need to think this out a little bit. New non-high def TVs need a converter installed. Their converters are around $150 a piece. So if you want to know, add into this amount for the non-compliant patient TVs. They require a 5-year agreement, and the long-run cost to really install an HD system without the rewiring of your hospital, the true cost at the end, what you're going to end up paying, I don't care what they tell you, it's going to be between $30,000 and $50,000. Okay, because right off the bat, this is only 48 channels. You're going to want local channels. You're going to want video on demand. You know, the channels you show your patient videos, your department videos, you know, how to breastfeed, how to use insulin, all that. That all has to go into these 48 channels. So you're going to outgrow this system right off the bat. So this number is going to go to $30,000, $35,000 really fast. And then you have all this stuff that's going to cost you. Someone has to get into those patient rooms and make those TV changeovers and stuff. And, of course, during an active hospital, that becomes hard because of census and patient levels. So you're just going to, it becomes an endless amount of money. But you're going to go 30 to 50. I've seen places even go $60,000. And if your location needs to be wired, the whole hospital needs to be wired for high def, this isn't even close. So you're talking of quite a bit of investment. But here's my opinion. It needs to be done. We all expect high def. We all require high def. We all want high def. We want it at our house. Are you going to go put an analog TV, a 480p TV in your house? No, you're not going to. You're going to buy 1080 or you're going to buy 4K. So, again, you're going to be stuck going this way, but there's your true cost. So there's a little breakdown I just gave you. I hope you enjoyed it. Gave you an idea of wiring your hospital, how it needs to be done. Gave you an idea of the Directv incentives and what's going on and why the Directv analog system is going away. That satellite has been in space, I think, since 1990. So it's got a pretty good lifespan, but it's running out of fuel, so it needs to come down. If you need more information, we offer structured cabling designed for RF and television systems distribution in healthcare and residential environments. We also offer do-it-yourself or do-it-in-house equipment sales for pre-configured distribution boards. We also sell you the best cable that you could use in your hospital, the best connectors, the best of everything. A lot of times people put together systems and they just buy the wrong parts and the parts don't work correctly. You need to buy the right stuff. If you're a do-it-in-house kind of place, we can help you with getting the right equipment and the right product to be able to do it, even down to the strippers and the crimpers. We offer expert 24/7 installation service. We back our work with a 10-year guarantee. Nobody in our area offers a 10-year guarantee, but no one in our area has been going since the early 70s and plans on going for another 50 years easy. So that's how we roll. So again, any information, you can call me on my cell phone, 224-200-1528, and I could definitely talk to you. You could see us on the web at businesswiredtechnology.com. and also hospitalityandentertainment.com. Hope to hear from you. Anything you need, any questions you need answered about RF distribution, you can talk to me about. Also on my YouTube page, I have great information about how to actually use taps and splitters and also how to use amplifiers. You can contact me and I could let you get the links for that. Have a good day and thanks for coming into the web.